Alec Baldwin's impression of Donald Trump on Saturday Night Live became an iconic and relentless satire, much to Trump's frustration. Initially hesitant to take on the role, Baldwin was persuaded by Lorne Michaels and Tina Fey, thinking it would be a short-lived gag before the election ended. However, when Trump won, Baldwin found himself locked into a performance that became a weekly necessity. His portrayal captured not just Trump's voice, wig, and tan but also his speech patterns, his tendency to repeat words, lose his train of thought mid-sentence, and rely on exaggerated adjectives like fantastic and tremendous. The impression was so accurate that it blurred the line between comedy and reality, with even Trump supporters unconsciously mimicking Baldwin's exaggerated speech. Despite the critical acclaim and an Emmy win, Baldwin described the role as agony due to its exhausting nature and the frustration of embodying a figure who constantly baffled him. Meanwhile, Trump's reaction was predictably furious, with him launching Twitter tirades week after week, proving that the parody had struck a nerve. Donald Trump repeatedly called SNL unwatchable, slammed Alec Baldwin's impression as terrible, and insisted the show had become a disaster, but every time he complained, he only made things worse for himself by drawing more attention to Baldwin's performance, inadvertently turning it into a cultural phenomenon. Initially intended for just a few episodes, Baldwin's impression became a staple, largely because Trump couldn't ignore criticism, especially from someone as famous as Baldwin. The moment the impression aired in October 2016, Trump lost it, obsessively tweeting about it, with each rant fueling even more interest. While most politicians ignore satire, Trump did the opposite, launching at least 5 separate attacks on Baldwin, calling the impression a total hit job and SNL unfunny. However, his outrage only drove ratings higher, making the 2016 to 2017 season the show's most watched in 2 decades, with a 22% viewership spike. Baldwin's portrayal didn't just mock Trump, it reshaped public perception, exaggerating his speech patterns and mannerisms to the point where they became impossible to ignore. Trump's deep obsession with his image had already been bruised at the White House Correspondents' Dinner years earlier when Obama publicly roasted him over the birther conspiracy, an event some say fueled his presidential ambitions. By 2017, Trump became the first president in 36 years to skip the dinner, avoiding what had become a public stage for his humiliation, one that Baldwin had now brought into millions of homes every week.